Anna Rovetto is a third-year student at the University at Buffalo School of Dental Medicine. She has been practicing yoga for over 8 years and has been teaching yoga in New York and California for the past 4 years. She's a 200-hour certified in Vinyasa Flow Yoga and meditation through the Yoga Alliance and currently teaches at Crunch Fitness in Buffalo, New York. She's also working on creating content for dental students specifically. Please welcome Anna Rovetto.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. So first things first, if you have a mat, that's awesome. If not, no worries. Just find a comfortable place. We're going to start on our back today. I'm just getting the music up and running. If you guys want to lay down on your back and get comfortable. All right, so when you're ready, just come to lay down. Legs can be out long. And if for some reason you have any lower back issues, no problem at all. You can just step your feet right onto the mat. That will really tuck your tailbone under, and then maybe even bring your knees to touch in the center. Option to have your hands on your belly or your arms down by your sides. And if you haven't already, just closing your eyes. Taking deep inhales and full exhales out the nose. And maybe you're new to yoga today, or maybe you've taken yoga before. But whatever it is, I want you to try to remember what your very first yoga class ever felt like. Maybe you were really nervous walking through the doors. Maybe it was even a little stressful because you didn't know what to expect. And then take another moment and try to remember what it felt like to walk into your first dentist appointment. Maybe you felt some of those same nerves. Maybe you knew it would be uncomfortable. You didn't know what would be happening next. Didn't know what to expect. Just looking at both of these experiences that you've had, and with us becoming dentists one day and dental providers now, what can we do to make our patients more comfortable in these uncomfortable situations? So today, as we move through practice, I invite you to modify if you need to. If something doesn't feel good for you, maybe just make your way back to child's pose. If you came here to lay on your back the whole time, that's totally awesome too. You can stay right here, it doesn't matter. And then think about what you do for your patient in these situations. Maybe you'd adjust their chair. Maybe they bring with them a blanket so they feel more comfortable and it eases their anxiety. Maybe you're just checking in on them extra often, especially if they're worried. Take a deep inhale. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Take another inhale. Open the mouth, let it go. Last time, inhale. And exhale it out. Bringing both knees into the chest. Grabbing onto the shins or maybe holding onto the wrists. Just start to rock back and forth. Waking up the back, massaging the lower spine. And then taking a hold of the right shin, send that left leg down all the way to the mat. Take a moment to really engage both feet, flexing them and spreading the toes. And then take another inhale, really pull that right knee into the chest, elbows come out to the side. Start to find movement in that right leg, just slowly taking it side to side, opening up the hip here. Maybe you're just rocking the leg back and forth, maybe taking big circles if it feels good. you're taking those circles, switching direction, going the opposite way. And then take another really big inhale, squeeze that right knee into the chest. On the exhale, cross it over the body to find a twist. Arms come out to your sides and looking over your right shoulder. If you've lost the engagement of your feet, just flexing and spreading them once again to protect the knee. And find that breath once again if you've lost it. Inhale, take it back up to center. This time grabbing behind the back of the right thigh. Begin to straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. Sole of the foot is pointed up. Leg definitely does not have to be straight here. Just going to where you feel the stretch. And if you're really feeling this stretch here, not supposed to be pain, but you may feel uncomfortable. And that's okay because stretching is uncomfortable. And then just feeling that breath once again, focusing on that and trying to work through that discomfort. Take the ankles, start to circle it one way. And then take it the opposite direction. On an exhale, bring that right knee back into the chest, really pull it in, squeeze it in. Now taking that left foot that's down on the mat, plant that down onto the ground. Moving into figure four pose, right leg crosses over left. If you already feel the stretch in your right hip, you can just stay here, left foot stays planted on the mat. Option to reach behind the back of the left thigh, pulling everything in. Once again, re-engage the feet. Option to tuck the chin too, keeping length in the back of the neck. Last option, you can also straighten that left leg up towards the ceiling, finding that hamstring stretch on the opposite side. Any pose along the way that we've taken in this series, feel free to hold there, just going to where you feel the stretch. Feeling a little bit of that uncomfort just because you're in the stretch, but not feeling pain, not feeling like you're pushing yourself too much. One more deep breath. Exhale, releasing your grip, drop the foot back down, unwind your legs. Both knees come into the chest, grabbing onto the shins, rocking side to side. Just take a moment to feel if that right side feels any different from the left. And then holding onto the left leg, straighten that right leg out long. Re-engage the feet, option to tuck the chin, really feel the shoulder blades on the mat. Finding some movement in that left leg, start to take it side to side. Or maybe making those big circles that felt good last time. Switching directions if you're taking circles. Take another big inhale, really pull that left knee into the chest. On the exhale, cross it over the body, arms come out to a T, this time looking over your left shoulder. Take one more inhale. And exhale out, making your way back to center. This time grabbing behind the back of the left thigh, begin to straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Just notice if this side feels any different. For me, there's a much larger bend in my left side. That's totally fine. And then start to move the ankles, circles one way. And taking it the opposite direction. Take another inhale, pull that left knee into the chest. Setting up for figure four pose on the opposite side, right foot plants on the mat. Left leg crosses over. Option to stay here or grab behind the back of the right thigh, pulling everything in. Once again, re-engaging the feet, and then last option to straighten that right leg up for a hamstring stretch. One more inhale. And exhale out. Planting that right foot back down, releasing your grip, unwind the legs, both knees into the chest, grabbing onto the shins or opposite wrists, rock side to side. And then rolling all the way onto your right. Slowly coming up to find a comfortable seated position. Few different options here. You can just cross the legs. If this is super uncomfortable, knees can come together, sitting back down onto your heels. Maybe if you want to start with a foot stretch, tucking the toes under. If this gets uncomfortable at all, just untucking them. And then when you're ready, palms of the hands are planted down onto your legs. Take a big inhale, really start to roll those shoulders back, exaggerating the movement. And then taking them forward. Take a big inhale, really squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears, super uncomfortable. Exhale, drop the shoulders, send them down the back. Plant the right hand down. Starting to make circles with that left arm, just taking them back to start. And taking them forward. Coming back through center, plant the opposite hand, circles with the opposite arm. Switching direction. And coming back to center. If for any reason this position that you're sitting in is hurting you, feel free to switch it out. Try a different one if it feels better. We'll only be here for a few more breaths. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, drop the chin, finding a stretch in the back of the neck. Start to make slow movements side to side. Just waking up the neck. Half circles if your neck will make it full circles. And then once you've made it to the right side, just pausing here. Holding, just gently taking that left shoulder down and away from the neck. Option to take that right hand, just gently resting it over the ear. Not trying to force the neck down, but just allowing the weight of the hand to bring you into this stretch a little bit more. Another inhale. And exhale it out. Release the hand. Keep the chin tucked. Come through center. Take it over to the opposite side. If adding the hand over the ear felt good, option to take that again on this side. Release the hand, keep the chin tucked, coming back through center, and take an inhale, lifting the head, looking forward. Moving on to the wrists, just start to make circles with them going one way. Taking them the opposite direction. I know all of us being dentists, dental students, this probably feels good. Take a big inhale, really squeeze, expand the hands, really opening them up, palms are facing forward. Take an exhale, really squeeze them in, making a fist. Inhale, spread them out. Exhale, make a fist. One more time, inhale. Exhale, make a fist. Planting the hands in front of you, coming into our first child's pose of the practice. Extend the arms out long, big toes come to touch, knees come wide, sitting our bottom down. If you can, forehead comes down to the mat. Take a moment to play around too. Maybe it feels better for you to have your knees wider. Maybe it feels better to have your knees together, releasing the lower back a little bit. Feel free to move the knees however you need to feel more comfortable. And then take a big inhale, walking both hands over towards the right side, finding a stretch in the left side of the body. Coming back through center, walking the hands over towards the opposite side. Take an inhale, hands come back to center, sink down and find that child's pose once again. Drop the forehead if it feels good. Take an inhale, making our way up to tabletop pose. Really spreading the hands, pushing down into them evenly. Tops of the feet are pushing down into the mat. Take a big inhale, drop the belly, roll the shoulder blades back, look up to find cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, drop the head, looking towards the back of the room to find cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, round the spine. Coming back to our neutral tabletop position here. Once again, just working on the wrists. Take a moment to walk the fingers out away from each other. Maybe rocking side to side slightly. Just really trying to dive into the wrists, all those little muscles in the hands. If you're more flexible, option to take the fingers, point them back towards you. If you can't do this one, don't judge yourself. This one's hard. Slowly taking them back to their normal position. Hand at a time, too much pressure on the wrist to start. Really trying to keep a lot of the weight into the opposite hand that's pushing down. Switching sides, flip the left palm. Planting both hands down on the mat. Tuck the toes, pushing back to our first downward dog of the practice. Lifting the hips. Pushing into the hands. Heart is coming through towards the back of the room. Slight bend in the knees here. Anytime you need to drop down and take that child's pose, just go there if it becomes too much. If you're in downward dog with me, starting to pedal out the feet, just bending one knee and then the other, maybe gently taking the hip side to side. And then finding stillness in this downward dog once again, really pushing down into the hands, specifically into the thumb and pointer finger. Lifting the hips maybe just a little bit more, heels sink down towards the mat. Look forward, walking to the top. Feet can be at hip width distance or wider, grab opposite elbows, coming to find our ragdoll pose. Top of the head is pointed down towards the mat. Really trying to release the shoulders here, release the upper back, let go of the neck. Just allowing the head to hang. Rocking side to side if it feels good.
Release the arms, release the hands. Take the feet back under the hips if you've taken them wider. And with an inhale, as slowly as you can, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up to stand. Rolling the shoulders back at the top, allow the head be to let the head be the last thing to rise. Taking hands to heart center. Take one breath here. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, take the hands right back to heart center. Just trying to move with the breath here. Take another inhale, lift the hands, look up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Last one, take an inhale, lift. And exhale to heart center. Take a moment to release the hands, taking them down by your sides. Take an inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears like we did in the beginning of class. Exhale, send them down the back. Really trying to feel that long and straight spine here, almost like you're being pulled up to the ceiling, like you have a string attached to the top of your head. Tailbone is slightly tucked under, really feeling all four corners of the feet, pushing down into the mat, engaging the belly. And then taking the hands back to heart center. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down to a forward fold. Taking the hands to the shins, find a flat back here, lifting up slightly, top of the head is pulling forward, trying to find length in the spine. Exhale, forward fold once again. Take an inhale to that flat back one more time, straightening the legs, finding length in the spine, shoulder blades are coming together on the back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, stepping back to plank pose. Option to drop the knees here. And on the exhale, as slowly as you can, lowering all the way down to the mat, trying to keep the elbows tucked in, touching your body the entire time on the way down. Take an inhale to cobra, just gently pushing into the hands, but really trying to use the muscles of the back to pull you up. Exhale, fold. Tuck the toes, push it back, downward dog or child's pose. Look forward, walking your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming to stand, sweep the arms up, reach them up, look up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back down to that forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank once again. Option to drop the knees, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, push it back, child's pose or downward dog. If you're still in downward dog with me, take an inhale, lift that right leg up towards the ceiling. Option to stay here or to make our way to wild dog, bending the knee, stacking the hip, opening the hip up towards the right side, really flexing that foot once again, trying to protect that knee. And then take a moment just to notice your shoulders. For me, especially that right shoulder tends to open up. Try to square it back off, evenly pushing into both hands. Take one more breath. On the exhale, slowly straighten the leg, drop it back down. If you need to pedal out the feet again, bend one knee and then the other. Maybe take child's pose here if it feels good. And when you're ready, lift that opposite leg, left leg up towards the ceiling. Option to stay here or to find our wild dog, bend the knee, stack the hip, this time opening it up towards the left. Really flexing the foot and then notice the shoulders, trying to square them off and keep them even. One more breath. Exhale, straightening the leg, drop it back down. Pedal out the feet if it feels good, maybe another child's pose. Look forward, walk to the top of the mat. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. Take an inhale, lifting all the way up to stand, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. This time, taking the right foot, stepping it back, coming to find a warrior one position. So in this pose, I like to keep my foot a little closer to me actually. Don't step it as far back as you naturally would. That way I can square my hips towards the front of the room. My back leg is straight, front leg has a bend in it. Option to keep the arms on the hips, or you can extend them up towards the ceiling. And if you do more yoga or you practiced before, you can always extend that stance if it feels better for you, but especially if you're a beginner, just hop that back foot in a little bit, really work on squaring the hips towards the front of the room. Option here to take cactus arms, bending at the elbows, really spreading the fingers, shoulder blades are coming together on the back. Maybe even looking up towards the ceiling, trying to find that opening across the chest, opening in the collarbones. Take an inhale, reach those arms back up. Exhale, coming to find a warrior two position, maybe extending the stance this time. Arms extend in opposite directions. Really sinking down into that front knee, but making sure that the knee doesn't go over the ankle. Trying to stack it right on top, or maybe even having it just slightly behind. Flip both palms up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, sink back down to warrior two. Flip the palms, take an inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sink. Last one, inhale. And exhale, take it back down. This time, keep the bend in the front knee, flip the front palm, inhale to peaceful warrior. Reaching back with that front hand. Exhale, make our way back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Option to shorten the stance once again if you'd like to take that back foot in a little bit. Take a big inhale, really send the hips towards the back of the room, pull that left arm forward. On the exhale, coming to find our triangle pose, reaching for the shin. If you're more flexible, maybe reaching for the ankle. Right arm is pointed up towards the ceiling. Put a bend in that front knee, take it back up to warrior two. Toes point in, coming to find a straddle position. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Trying to keep a straight spine, hinge from the hips, fold forward all the way down to the mat. A few different options here. If it feels good just to have your hands on the ground, you can do that. Maybe holding onto the ankles. Maybe taking the ragdoll pose, arms grabbing opposite elbows, allowing your back to hang. And then releasing wherever you are. Put a bend in the knees and slowly stacking vertebrae by vertebrae. Come all the way up to stand. Shoulders roll back. Coming to find that warrior two. Last time on this side. Left foot is forward. Flip the front palm. Inhale to reverse warrior. Take it back. Exhale, take the hands all the way down to the mat. Making our way back to plank. Option to drop the knees lower down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, take it back, downward dog. 2 breaths here, or drop the knees. Coming to find our child's pose, grabbing a drink of water if you need it. Whatever it is that makes you more comfortable. And when you're ready, making your way back to that downward dog if you've taken child's pose. Look forward, start to walk your feet to the top. Take an inhale to find that flat back, top of the head pulls forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way to stand, rise up, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. This time, left foot steps back, starting in that warrior 1. Once again, shorter stance here if it feels good. Option to keep the hands onto the hips. Or option to take them up towards the ceiling. Last option, you can take those cactus arms, bending at the elbows, spreading the fingers, feeling the opening across the chest. Shoulders are going down and back. Take an inhale, reach those arms back up. Exhale to warrior 2, lengthening the stance if it feels better. Back leg is still straight. Bend in the front knee. Arms are pulling in opposite directions, looking forward over the front fingertips. Flip both palms up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale, lift the hands straight in the front leg. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Last one, inhale. Exhale, sink back down to that warrior 2. Keep the bend in the front knee, flip the front palm. Inhale to peaceful warrior. Exhale, take it back to warrior 2. Straighten that front leg once again, moving into triangle pose. If it feels better with a shorter stance, walk that back foot in. Take a big inhale, send the hips towards the back of the room, pull the right arm forward to find length, and exhale, tipping over to triangle. Reaching for the shin or the ankle, just take a moment to notice if this side feels different. Maybe it feels better to, walk your hands up the shin a little bit more, give yourself some more length. Option to look up towards that top hand if it feels okay in the neck. And find that breath if you've lost it. Placing a bend in that front knee, making your way back up to our warrior 2. Front toes point in, coming to find that straddle position once again. A few different options here. If you liked extending the arms up, feel free to do that. Other option, you can grab opposite elbows, or maybe grabbing onto the hands, interlacing them here. Wherever you are, take a big inhale, just trying to look up. And exhale, folding forward. One more breath. Exhale, release the hands, bringing them onto the hips. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up, slight bend in the knees, pushing down into the feet to rise you up. Coming to find the warrior 2, last one of the practice. Flip the front palm, inhale to reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. And the exhale, take it all the way down to the mat. Stepping back to plank. Option to drop the knees, lower all the way down and pausing at the bottom this time. Belly is all the way on the mat, and then taking one hand on top of the other, take the forehead down. Just take a moment to really let go here, let go of the shoulders, let go of the belly, the hips. And then coming to find our Sphinx pose. Pushing the hands down into the mat, forearms are down, and then trying to stack the shoulder on top of the elbow. Tops of the feet are pushing down into the mat. And looking down just slightly. Maybe even looking at the hands, just trying to find a place to focus. One more breath here. On the exhale, slowly take it all the way back down, taking one hand on top of the other, forehead comes down. Put a bend in the knees, taking the feet side to side, windshield wipering the legs, just releasing the lower back. Drop the legs back down. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, push it back to downward dog. Last downward dog of the practice. One full inhale and full exhale out. Dropping the knees down to the mat. Coming to sit on our bottom, extending both legs out front. Setting up for a seated forward fold. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, folding forward. Option to put a bend in the knees if it feels better. And once again, just going to where you feel the stretch here. It's not about touching your toes or folding all the way over, but just going to where you feel something. Take an inhale, lifting back up. Plant the feet onto the mat. I'm going to lay down onto our back. Arms are down by our sides. Make sure that you can just touch your heels with your fingertips. Take a big inhale. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Take another inhale, this time push into the feet, lift the hips, coming to find our bridge pose. One more breath. Exhale, slowly drop it back down. Lift the arms up overhead. Take another inhale. On the exhale, coming out to the edges of both feet, start to drop the knees over towards the right side. Coming back through center, dropping both knees over towards the left. Inhale takes them through center and over towards the right. Last time, taking them over to the left. Back up to center, knees come into the chest. Grabbing onto the shins, rocking side to side. Last active pose of the practice, coming to find our happy baby. Either holding onto the outside edges of the feet or taking your toes with your peace sign fingers. Bottoms of the feet are pointed up, large bend in the knees. Rocking side to side if it feels good.
Slowly bringing the legs back into touch, knees into the chest. And setting up for our final resting pose, our Shavasana. Legs can go out long, arms are down by our sides, eyes are closed. Ending this practice where we started today. And before settling in, just take a moment to scan the body, starting at the forehead, releasing all those little muscles, all the tension that you're keeping, coming down through the temples, down to the jaw, even allowing the tongue to relax. Letting go of the neck. Let the shoulders feel heavy. Releasing the arms, the forearms, and the fingertips. Relaxing the chest, really letting go of the belly. Let the hips feel heavy. And then traveling down the legs, releasing everything along the way. And ending with the toes. Take a big inhale and a full exhale out. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes, rocking the head side to side. Starting to bring the knees into the chest. Rolling all the way over onto your right. And slowly coming up to find a comfortable seat. Maybe even keeping those eyes closed. Hands come to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. It was so great to teach all of you. In yoga, we say namaste, which means the light in me honors and greets the light in you. Namaste. Thanks again, everyone. I know it is right at 9:45, so I believe you guys get a break coming up here before the next session. But just wanted to say my name's Anna Rovetto once again. Thanks a lot for taking my class. I will be posting some yoga videos in the future. I wanted to make some stuff specifically for dental students, kind of like what we did today with a lot of wrists, neck, shoulders, and whatnot. So feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna throw my handle in here because that's where I'm going to be posting the videos. They'll be free, of course, and they'll be on YouTube. If anyone has any questions, feel free to message me privately or let me know here too. I'll hang out for a few minutes.